Hey you guys, I really wanted to tune in today because it's about intuition and clairvoyancy and being an empath and all that sort of stuff. And really what the Matrix, I think there's like a little bit of a, sorry, clothes falling down, all the things. I think there's like a little bit of a bullshit going on right now, and it has been for quite a while, ever since the burning down of all the witches and all the people with all the gifts and really hiding our fucking intuition and how powerful we are. What I have come to realize with working, I'm 38, I started working in customer service when I was 12, 14, and what and having all the businesses and all the stuff, right? But what I've come to really realize about being around people so much is that if you are not a slave or a robot, you have ADD, you have anxiety, you have all these terms, and then people want to medicate you so that you become a slave or a robot. But if we had been brought up around people like witches, sages, clairvoyants, all the things, then we would actually be able to harness our amazing gifts instead of being conformed and drugged into being a slave or a robot. I especially notice this because like I have hairdressing salons, right? So a lot of the people that come to me have come to work with me, join our teams. A lot of us are super fucked up, right? Like I'm talking people from like really traumatic upbringings, drugs, alcohol abuse, all the things, right? But, and then they're always, and I find that a lot of people, you know, will go and do therapy and all that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, you've got ADD. Oh, you've got this. Oh, you've got that. So, you know, you just need to do this, or you just need to medicate this way, and that will really, really work for you. So I wanted to touch on this because, man, this dress. But I really wanted to touch on this because being an empath, which I am, and slightly clairvoyant, so what that means is that, well, I'll run you through a little story. When I was a kid, I always remember at nighttime seeing orbs, like different colored orbs, green and blue and red orbs, right? These little things, didn't know what it was, and I was talking to my sister about it, and I just thought everybody could see it, right? And I think she just went along with it, to be honest. But like I really could see shit. And anyway, and that's really been coming a lot online for me as an adult now. And then going through having quite a traumatic upbringing with like a lot of things, which would devastate my parents to hear that, but having quite a traumatic upbringing, it really, and being trained to shut down anything that's not seen as normal. Like, for example, extreme empath, like I am, so really feel and see what other people like have in their heart or have in their mind. Like that's a gift that I have. But at 14 years old, I was put into therapy because to suppress these gifts, because I felt too much what other people were feeling. It wasn't normal that I wanted to protect people around me and like try and save people. If your kid was dying, wouldn't you try to save it? Fucking oath. I wasn't abnormal. I was just really, like, nice, maybe. But the people around me thought that I was abnormal. So I got put into therapy at 14 and had a therapist teach me how to suppress everything, right? Which is really interesting and really super fucked up, especially if you've seen the musical The Book of Mormons, because it's all about like suppressing shit, and that's really what I was trained in doing, like suppress emotions, feelings, gifts, talents. And the whole point of this story is, can you imagine like all these people that have like ADD, like I've got ADHD, I have got like supposedly like dyslexic, all the things, you know, like suffered from anxiety, depression, rah, 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 this, that, and the other, all the fucking things. But what if like we actually didn't have any of these things and we were so fucking gifted and talented that these things were like our greatness, but because people don't understand it and we're not like conforming to being a slave or a robot and we're a little bit different, people tell us that we're a little bit fucked up. And I would just like to say, after working with people and being in like running teams for such a long time, that I get to see it from a different angle, because I get to now, well, I have for a long time, see what people's gifts are and then really work with them to enhance their gifts. And it is fucking amazing, like, to actually see what can come out of people, and when they are supported in their difference, or supported in their, like, what I say to my teams is, you've got a superpower, you just don't know how to fucking harness it yet. Let's work on that, because this is awesome. This is like Harry Potter, like, mastery, right? So this is what I work on with people, and I freaking love it, right? And it's really amazing, because when I'm around people as well, I get to feel their gifts and see their gifts, which is the best. So these people might not even know they have a gift, right? Like, you might not even know that you have certain gifts. You might just get into a situation or you might just feel stuff too much, like a little bit abnormal. That would be an empath, right? Which is actually a superpower. Or you might get into, like, I was having a conversation with somebody today, and she's like, oh, I just feel so much, and then I just this and that. I'm like, yeah, you've got all the stuff going on. Like, you're a bit of everything, and let's work on these and really focus and train ourselves to just really work on one thing at a time. Well, really work on cleaning our vessel so that we can have a really clear channel and a really clear pathway, and really be able to express our gifts and our abilities really smoothly and fearlessly, really, without any fear, but with support of how fucking cool we are, right? So I really wanted to touch on that, because this comes up so much, and like, I hope that in the future, like, I really do hope that, and this is going to sound super fucked up and trigger the hell out of people, and I'm really sorry to you people, but I personally hope that less people go to university and less people go to school, and they really harness their gifts and their superpowers, so that we are able to create things rather than to verbally vomit somebody else's information. What if we have our own information that's freaking unique and is so important to share with this world? Because let me tell you, we do. Every single person is fucking unique, right? Like, what the hell, going to school and regurgitating somebody else's information? Slavery, or you're a robot. And I don't like to conform to any of this bullshit, because it is legit bullshit. And the world that we live in at the moment, that's why so much shit is crumbling, because people are coming more online, and they are waking up, and they are able to see through all this fucking matrix bullshit and realize that they are sovereign beings, and they are super gifted, and they are super talented, and know that they have something that they really want to share with the world. They just don't know how to get it out. They don't know what it is, whatever it is, if they're not living in their passion and purpose at the moment. So it's amazing that we're at this time where people can really step back into being support and help these people wake up, and help these people come online and become conscious, really, from being the complete unconscious. I see it every day, and I love it. I absolutely love it when people are coming online and becoming conscious, and you literally see the shift in their brain. You literally see their eyes, like the fog over their eyes lift, right? Like, I literally see that, and it's amazing. And it's so exciting for where our world is now and where it is heading as well. And especially with the collapse of everything, like, Mother Nature is giving us all these signs that we can wake up, and she is waking up so many people at the moment with all these disasters. So in these disasters, they are so fucking terrible. But with every catastrophic event becomes so much awakening. I don't know about you, but if you were maybe remember into your past when things have been so fucking bad, or like extreme trauma has been there, on the other side of that, once you learn the lessons that you needed to learn from it, is when all your gifts and your abilities and a new awakening sort of happens, So I encourage you to look into your trauma, to really go in it and ask, what are the lessons here? What is it that you are supposed to be learning out of this? And be proactive after the event, in the event, absolutely be reactive. Like, you're a human being, and that's what we're here for. We're here for human experiences. So own it, love it, and enjoy it, you know? Terrible dress. And with your superpowers, with your intuition, with your guidance, with your whatever you work with, angels, all the things. I'm an elemental being. I work with Mother Nature. I work with the elements. Get clairvoyant, clairauditory, and then able to tune into others' visions and what they see in the world. So this really started to come online with me as a kid, and then, as I said, I had all the suppression, took a shitload of drugs because I didn't understand what was going on, and because it was just heaps of fun. And then, you know, life circumstances make that change, and then fell into going to being vegan out of health and all that sort of stuff, and then going to a detox retreat and going raw vegan, which really made, like, the detox, cleaning out my vessel, and then being a raw vegan really made, like, I was seeing through the veil 1,000,000%, like the energy through trees, the like plants that were communicating with me, everything, cars, all the things, being able to see disease in people's body, like all of the vibration was completely changed, and I saw beneath, like through the veil of this bullshit reality. But then, you know, situations change and I needed to come back to Earth. That was for 5 years, and that was fucking the best time of my life. It was super fun. And then needed to come back to Earth and all that sort of stuff because of my mum going through cancer and all that sort of stuff, needing to be there to support her and witness that whole situation, which was fascinating. And what's the point of this? Good question. The point of this is, when you're feeling your most fucking crazy, when people are around you are super crazy, if you're going into environments and it's just like way too much, if you feel like there's multiple things going on in your brain, if you feel like all these sort of things, and if you feel like you're just sort of waking up to all this stuff and becoming conscious or whatever it is, then you're probably just really fucking talented. Like, legit, everybody is really fucking talented. We just don't know how to harness it. So maybe the best thing you could do would be to start meditating, clearing your vessel as well, getting into nature, clearing your vessel, like eating more plants because they're alive and living and they have a really high vibration, and it will increase your vibration as well because you're putting life into you. Like, imagine this. So you're putting like a watermelon. Oh my gosh, it's like, feel it in your mouth. It's like holiday, right? As opposed to Wheat Bix. It's like dry, like glaggy in your mouth. Like, your whole body needs more, like, in order to digest that, you're actually taking away from your own hydration. So with eating something like that, you're actually more dehydrated afterwards rather than being rehydrated, and it has no vibration. Like, it could be on the shelf for like 10 years. You have no idea. Whereas a watermelon, at least you know that it's like fresh, right? If it tastes good, it's alive, it's lovely. So the vibration of food is really a great thing to start harnessing your gifts as well, because if you want to start, like, I'm only speaking from my experience, and most people don't do it this way, but if you want to increase your vibration and your consciousness, then eat conscious food that has a higher vibration. Like, it's pretty common sense, right? People just don't want to do it because they're like, oh my gosh, you know, all the things, I can't do that. It's like, okay, cool, don't do it all the time. Just do it some of the time, and do it when you need it. Like, when you're feeling the most challenged, eat things that don't have heaps of chemicals in them and artificial colors and flavors and all those sort of things, because your body spends so much time, especially, you probably don't realize that you're just super sensitive as well, because if you are a sensitive person, your body's sensitive, then you're putting these poisons in there. Your body's like feeling like a little bit poisoned, right? Like, your subconscious is like, you're poisoning me a little bit, like, this is a little bit hard right now. So rather than letting your body deal with that sort of stuff, put good stuff in, and then your intuition and your gifts and your sensitivities can really be heightened in a positive way without interference, so that you can really have more focus and strength, and your abilities are just more like laser beam, like, great, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just really wanted to tune into that, especially if you are feeling like you get anxiety, you get depression, you get, you're a bit of a sociopath, all those sort of things, because all of our parents, like 90% of people's parents were like brought up with some sort of trauma, and so that creates trauma within us, and like, you know, abandonment issues, this issue, that issue. It might not even be that, like, you think, oh, I had an amazing upbringing, but like you still had forms of abandonment, blah, 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 blah. And it's not about diving in and being a victim. It's about, okay, I understand why I react a certain way, and that gives you more awareness around how you're reacting with something, so that you can really show up and start to heal that part of yourself. And it gives you a lot more tools to be able to have a better life, rather than being in victim and all that sort of stuff. It can give you the guidance and give you tools to really go, okay, this is where I'm at, this is something that I need to work on, and I will always be working on, possibly in my whole life, but I have awareness around it. And I just know that when I'm triggered as fuck, that this will probably pop up, and there is ways that I can cope with dealing with this. Or sometimes you fall back into your old patterns. I do too. I mean, they're just not as bad as they used to be. My bad patterns are really not that bad. It's all to do with food that's like not fruit. And the more that you start to honor yourself and honor your past and honor who you are as a being, then you can really start to harness these gifts a whole lot more. And then you'll become more compassionate for other people as well, and really see through their story of whatever it is that they're telling you, and really get into their vibration and feel and know about their past, their history, and why they act a certain way. And your compassion and your vibration of being conscious like that actually raises the consciousness between the both of you. And then you're able to have like common ground and really have great conversations, really heal parts of yourself and help them heal parts of themselves, because that's the whole thing. Everybody in this world is dealing with a bit of trauma, right? Whether they're aware of it or they're not aware of it, whether they're willing to admit it or they're not willing to admit it, is absolutely fine. But the more that we're able to heal certain parts within ourselves and really lift our vibration and come from our heart and be authentic underneath all the masks, underneath everything that we've put on there to help protect ourselves, because we've had trauma and we don't even realize that we've had trauma, and that's why we've created all these masks to make ourselves safe. But as we start to take these off and we be maybe vulnerable but more transparent, I would like to say, being more transparent and more authentic, so that we're in our powerful state, but coming from our heart, rather than being vulnerable and in a weakness. Like, it is great to be vulnerable, but vulnerable transparency, like, we want to be like transparent so that we're in our power, but showing up as we are, all of the things, not in a vulnerable state, but in a strong, transparent state, because this is just how it is, and this is absolutely amazing, right? So absolutely, like we used to say in the yoga, you know, like dissolving the ego and all those sort of things, absolutely. But also working with all parts of ourselves. Nothing's light nor dark. It's just our thoughts that make it good or bad, all of that sort of stuff, because that's when everything becomes a whole lot easier, because nothing's good, nothing's bad. It's just all whatever you want to feel on that day, and acknowledging however you want to feel. So this is just an opportunity for you to really honor yourself and honor all the things that you maybe haven't been willing to look at before as gifts, and really the ability to tune into your superpowers a whole lot more, and really notice your intuition come online a whole lot more. We're in an amazing time in the world at the moment where things really are shifting, and the consciousness of areas really are shifting. And it's been a while. We've been waiting. So we've all been put here at this time for a reason. So clear your vessel as much as you can. And I don't mean all the time, but like little times during the day. Meditate. It'll help to really strengthen the neural pathways in your brain, the ones that you want strengthened, and also allow you to dissipate and dissolve trauma within your body, and just pretty much put you on a higher frequency, so it makes it feel awesome. Get into nature, because nature is the most healing thing that there is. That's why I spend so much time in nature. I got a shit ton of trauma that I needed healing. And like I had a 2-hour, don't tell anybody, I had a 2-hour meditation today and on the beach. So this morning before work, and I was able to dive into a whole lot of trauma within my mother's line and some things that I had missed, and then it went into her mother's line, and then it went into my great-grandmother who I'd never met. But I was able to see how all of these instances had why I was experiencing, why this thing that keeps on coming up for me, because we're always healing different layers, right? It's like an onion. There's like, you peel one off and it's like amazing because this layer's gone, but like still an onion, and you peel this one off and then there's like another one. So it's like amazing learning, like shedding skins like a snake, you know. There's like we're literally doing that, like healing parts of ourselves, taking off all these masks that are not ours, that we have been trained in, that we don't even remember, like, and then these little things sort of pop up from our past and we're able to release them. So it was amazing. I had the best day, like by myself at the beach, which is like a lot of days, and healed this part of myself, and healed like within my family line, my women lineage, you know. And then went for a run because it was a little bit chilly. Still got wet hair. I went for a run to the end of the beach, and then I heard black cockatoos calling, and I just went to where I thought I could hear them coming from, and there was black cockatoos in a tree, and that is like my spirit bird. And if you know anything about animals, black cockatoos here in Australia are everything, right? Everything. So to be able to stand under this tree and have 4 or 5 black cockatoos there, like one just like calling, and I was trying to understand what was going on with them. One just was calling his beautiful call and just looking right at me because I was just underneath him. And then there was 3 other ones, so there was 4 altogether. 3 other ones, and this other one was making this really weird noise, and I couldn't tell if it was having a baby or if it was dying, to be honest, or if it was just like, I don't know, having a moment. Maybe it was just having a moment. Anyway, I didn't understand. There was no feathers around, but I got the blessing of the black cockatoo, you know, after this huge awakening, really understanding of my female lineage. So that was, for me, Mother Nature saying, we've got you. This is your spirit bird. Remember where your wings are so that you can fly, right? So it was pretty special, to be honest. It was very special, and just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful start to my day. And then being able to go into the ocean after that, and just getting, you know, ocean symbolizes truth, and that's why I love it so much, just so I can keep on getting rid of more of these masks and coming into more of my truth, more of my power, more of my intuition. And when I say power, I'm not talking from an ego point of view. I mean more a clearer pathway to channel what needs to come through, and more from my heart, which is the most important thing, right? So it was a really beautiful day. In case you can't tell, it was a really beautiful day. And so that's what I hope for more of you as well. So rather than thinking that, you know, a breakdown or something is bad, or like you're different, or I've got, oh, I don't know, there's just something wrong with me. The only thing that's wrong when you, and I highly recommend, I just know there's something wrong with me. When you're in that space, please understand that that is a matrix program that has been created to make you feel trapped and stop you from harnessing your intuition. So whenever that comes up, I really strongly recommend that you just go, this isn't mine. This isn't mine. This is a cultural thing. This is a societal thing. And I'm releasing this, and I want to know what's underneath it, because generally what's underneath it is your greatness and something that you are is going to come online, like a new ability or a new gift or something, or there's going to be something shifting in your world or in your work or in your relationship. And it's a real opportunity for you to dive in and go, okay, something amazing is going to be happening here. So remember, when that program's coming up, something's wrong with me, something's not right, like that's a gift. That's a gift. Something's happening there. Something good is happening there. So that would be a great time to start journaling, to speak to other people that are in that space, that know their stuff. Yes, I have a website and a phone, but that is the time to reach out, but what is even more important than that, that is the time to go deep within. So give yourself space, go into nature, meditate, journal, just write, you know, I'm having the experience of this right now. I'm having the experience of this. This is coming up, so that you can almost be like your own mentor. Like I know that when I've journaled through things, like I'm better than any psychologist that I used to go to, right? Because I'm literally able to just get the answers really quick. And especially if you're meditating a lot at that time as well, you're just like clearing so much stuff out. And then you're creating all this space within your body, within your mind, space for your new gifts to come in, so that you can really start to heal yourself and harness your abilities. It's like the greatest thing ever. So this is a really long one. I could keep on talking forever because it's like my favoriteest subject, like all of my favorite subjects. But this, I really encourage you, give yourself space, know when the programs are coming up, and know that your abilities and your greatness is in the things that won't conform to society, that are different. Your uniqueness, your ADD, your bipolar, your dyslexia, your I'm just thinking all the things that I got. Was it? No, just kidding. Sort of. All the things, you know, borderline personality disorder, all the things, like these are all really amazing like gifts. And this is what sort of came on for me, because my mum had like borderline personality and all the stuff, narcissistic behavior, anyway, all the stuff. And it's really interesting because it was like, whoa, she was from a line of sages. Maybe I don't even know what a sage is, that just popped out, that word. She's from a line of witches and didn't know how to harness their powers, and so would get a lot of messages and was a complete empath and trying to like help all the people and do all the things, and then like had all this stuff and turned into a crazy person because she was put on similar age, 13, 12, she was put on Valium at 12, right? To suppress. That's our family line. Just suppress, right? So it's obviously I was going to go to therapy at that same sort of time to learn how to suppress, because that's when her mother taught her how to suppress. And it's really fascinating. Like that sort of stuff is really, really fascinating. P.S. like she was on Valium. It didn't work because she was like the most stressed out person I ever met. Like seriously, I thought that made people calm, right? This woman. Anyway. So her superpower was smashing that Valium in the face, right? And that's what happens a lot of the time. Like whatever pills or things that you are going to take, and I'm not anti-pills because I have been there and I have done it. And if that's what you need at the time, I honor you and I honor where you're at. But pills really will suppress what's really going on. And you've actually just got all these fucking shit tons of abilities that you just don't know how to harness. So another way of doing it would be going, okay, I'm actually super cool and I need somebody to help me harness my gifts, or I'm going to do this myself by journaling, by meditating, by like YouTubing all this stuff, by getting as much authentic people out there. And how do you know if somebody's authentic? Well, feel into it. If it's right, it's right. If it's not, it's not. Or if it's a stretch, if you're feeling like the tingles, oh, I don't know, that's probably a yes, because that's like another psychic power, right? Like, well, not psychic, but that's another ability. So you got to trust those goosebumps. So I hope that gives you a little bit of something. Use your superpowers. Start to really clear your vessel. It'll be the easiest and fastest way. Clear your vessel, meditate, get in nature, and journal. Man, you have it all. And drink enough water, and don't drink fluoride, because like fluoride shuts down the intuition, your pineal gland. So literally that's why there is aluminium byproduct in the water. Aluminium byproduct is fluoride. Fluoride is the byproduct of aluminium, and they keep putting it in the water because it shuts down your intuition and it keeps you a slave or a robot. And like seriously, aren't we bored of that anymore? Like, come on, we're bored of this program. It's just like over already. So look after yourself, really look after yourself, and Don't aim on being perfect. Just do it some of the time. Set yourself up to succeed, never to fail. Please set yourself up for success. So don't make it challenging or tricky or any of those things. And breathe more. That's a good one. I love you so much. Thank you for listening to this jibber jabber all this time. And if you have any questions or if you need any help, please get in contact. Or if you'd like to know anything else, just ask, because I love talking, obviously, especially if I've eaten fruit all day. And I hope that you allow your abilities and your gifts to just come online, because you are so unique and you are somebody else's medicine. And the time is now for you to step into the new you. And if you're already amazing, to enhance the already amazing you, because you are already amazing, obviously. So I'm sending you so much love from the beach here in Sydney, in my bedroom, but the beach is just across the road, and we've got a really windy night and lots of big seas, so there's great energy here. So I'm sending that straight from my heart straight into you, and all this love and energy straight into you, so that you can harness your new unique gifts and abilities. I love you.